Jesus freak here. If I seem a little bleary-eyed right now, recording this at 3:30 in the morning, yeah, I am. See, about an hour and a half ago, my cat decided she wanted to sleep at the foot of my bed. And I don't mean like next to the bed. I mean right where I put my legs. She gets in phases where she'll do that for a while. The problem is, when she does that, I can't sleep. The option is basically try to get her out of the bed, which is yeah, that's not going to happen. Or alternatively, to try to position myself around her and twist myself up into a pretzel. So I wind up getting forced out of my own bed. Apart from that, though, I'm not doing too bad. Looking at my current situation, I think I make it to the end of the year without a problem. Might be a little tight, but I'll make it through fine. What I'm thinking I might try to do after the dust settles. So we're talking like February, whatever, February, March. Set aside some money. And just like a couple years ago, I set aside some money to buy a secondhand Samsung phone. A couple $100. Probably do the same thing again. Because the main phone I'm using now, I'm not using my main phone to shoot this video. For the simple reason that my old phones, the one that's damaged and the one that only does 4G, are better phones. The better cameras and such than my current phone. The only time I use the camera on my current phone is when I'm out. But basically, the most powerful phone I've had is the one that I accidentally dropped, forcing me to get my current phone. So, it's like, yeah, when I can, I think I'm going to try to get another just like it. You see, for me, $200 is still a bit of an outlay, and that's for second hand, or really even third hand. Like, I don't see how anyone can just casually drop $1,000 on an iPhone. And frankly, I don't like Apple phones. I don't like the user interface. I'm just too used to Android. Yeah, it's changed a bit since I started using it 15 years ago. It's what I'm used to. It's like, I got muscle memory for Windows or stuff that's more or less Windows like. I use Mate on Linux. I can get around just fine. But that's because I've got close to 35 years of muscle memory on Windows. I got about the same on MS-DOS. And I got almost 30 years of muscle memory on GNU, originally on Solaris and then later on Linux. Like, I'm just used to it. And that's the thing, really, A lot of stuff I use is stuff I've used for a long time. The email program I use. Yeah, it's primitive as hell. But like I said, 30 years almost of muscle memory. So it's like, yeah, I'm set in my ways. Heck, even Mate. Before it was Mate, it was GNOME 2. I probably got a good 20 years of muscle memory on that. The video player I use on my computer. People rag on me for using a video player has practically no user interface to speak of and runs off the keyboard. I've been using it for 20 years. It's second nature to me. It's like most people haven't been using computers all that long, relatively speaking. They might understand the idea that you're just set in your ways of doing things after so long, but they might think, when it comes to computers, how can you have been doing stuff the same way for so long? I've been using computers for over 40 years. Of course, I built up some muscle memory. I remember, 40 years ago, getting online in ways that, that kind of thing meant back 40 years ago. Take the landline phone, literally dial the phone number of an online service, wait to hear the tones on the phone, this beeping, stick the phone in the top of the modem, and then enter an incantation at the computer keyboard, and all of a sudden I'm getting signals off the phone line that's coming up on the screen. And 5-year-old me is like, what is this voodoo? Like, I grew up on computers 40 years ago. Almost like people would have grown up 20 years ago with them. And I've seen them evolve. I mean, I can understand the guts of a 40-year-old computer. Modern computers, like, what the heck is this stuff? You know, it's like older generations in cars. They'll know some, 1960s car like it's the back of their hands. They'll go pop the hood of some modern car and they'll be like, what's this? But it's like, what cars were to older generations, computers are to mine. To me. I can't really say to my generation. I'm I'm an outlier. I was exposed much more to computers when I was a kid than most people my age. Like, I'm practically a digital native and I'm 45. There's people younger than me that aren't digital natives. And a cell phone these days is more computer than phone. Frankly, I use it as more computer than phone. Yes, I take and make calls on my phone. Although, honestly, I don't make a lot of calls. I'm just not that type of person. Most of my communication, past 25 years, frankly, past 30 years almost, has been over text media, unless it's in person. IRC's been around since '88. My then girlfriend introduced me to it 25 years ago. I still use it. Hell, over the past 20 years, I've developed a sort of dysfunctional family sort of community. On servers, for some part at least, I maintain. And it's like, is this a substitute for the real thing? No. And I realize that, but it's the best thing I got. Modern technology has simultaneously made the world bigger and smaller at the same time. It's a weird thing to think about. It's opened a lot of stuff to me that wouldn't have been open to me before. Before the common availability of the internet. Before the common availability of high-speed data transfer between 2 points on the globe. And I can download from halfway around the world in almost real time. It's like I can practically, and I've watched television from Japan in real time. I'm like, don't that make me feel small? I've listened to radio from halfway across the U.S. in real time. It's like before the internet, it's like your section of the world wasn't really that big. But it's like simultaneously, I've got more reach. I got friends all over the world, for one definition of friends. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing, I see two different senses of friends, your casual friends and your real friends. It's like, it's not really the same thing. But it's like, we talk to each other as if we're practically living in the same city. And like, here I am, East Coast of the United States, right on the Canadian border. I'm talking to someone like, I'll be talking to someone from Portugal as if they're right there. I remember back in 2011, a friend of mine in Portugal, it was like, go to this link and I'll put on my television and we can watch TV together. And I'm watching Portuguese TV with him in real time. I mean, there's only so much I can understand Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese. But first of all, because a lot of it was stuff I've seen in English or Japanese, and some of it still was in English. Like one time we were watching Ninja Turtles reruns. And, in Portugal they showed it in English with subtitles. Ninja Turtles. Of course, it was a censored UK version. It was Ninja Turtles. It's like the experience of knowing that someone halfway around the world had some of the same childhood experiences that you did. It's like I said, makes the world both bigger and smaller at the same time. Anyway, I should stop rambling. I've been on for over 20 minutes. Jesus freak out.